Organizations win championships. A Chicago Bulls podcast with Jason and Dan Bernstein on 312 Sports.
Welcome to Organizations Win Championships. The Bernsteins here. I believe this is episode 139.
We're losing count.
I know we are, as we talk Bulls and NBA. We're brought to you by MyBookie, and whenever the stakes are high, MyBookie is where you turn bets into bankroll. There's always a big matchup on the schedule, and everybody's watching. We all have our special hot takes, and no matter the sport, those props can be as fun as the final score. You know, I love those. I give you my DBU picks Mondays and Fridays through MyBookie, because that's what I'm using. Their prop board is deep. It's fun to play, player performances, game milestones, everything in between. Just the action that keeps things interesting all game long. So jump in right now. One account, one wallet. It's all at the same place at mybookie.ag. You can bet the spread, live bet the action, enjoy the casino during halftime, between games. Everything's in one space, mybookie.ag. The code is OWC for Organizations Win Championships. When you use that code, that gives you your first bet covered up to $500. That means if it doesn't hit, you then have a bet back bonus token, and you can run it back. The code OWC at mybookie.ag. Don't just watch the action, make it pay with MyBookie. Since we last talked, Jay, the owner of the Bulls, Michael Reinsdorf, has essentially, whether he intended to or not, he promoted Billy Donovan.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, long time no see.
Yeah, hello. How you doing?
Yeah, hello again.
Hi.
Maybe that's why we're losing track of the episodes, is because we recorded 2 days ago and went
That's
live.
right.
That was fun.
It was fun.
That was a lot of fun. And so, yeah. Hi, guys. And that's the lead. We'll get to the Wizards game later, if that even matters. But I'm glad I went to the Pelicans game instead, which I will also love to talk about. Because
I know you will.
I love bum fests.
I know. You were in your happy
place. This is my
place.
favorite time of the year.
But
this is Christmas for me.
Because so many teams are playing their bums.
Oh, God, I love watching Oscar Tshiebwe not get his legs into a jump hook and miss it short.
Yep. You probably enjoyed college ball then, because
no, it's still NBA ball.
Okay, as long as it's still NBA.
It's still a lot different. People can make shots, even if they suck.
So when I say he promoted Billy Donovan, when you say what he said, and making it very clear that anybody coming in to run the Bulls is going to lack the ability to get rid of Billy Donovan, that establishes Donovan as the most powerful person on the basketball side of the Bulls. Full stop. Period. So you haven't technically promoted him, but you promoted him, and this is the Billy show now. This is going to be, if somebody wants to work with him and allow him to be the guy, then it is already it's shrunk your pool of potential hires in a way that is debatable. And I'm not saying you can't win this way, and I'm not saying you can't win turning your team over to Billy Donovan, but now if he's going with the old rule of, if I'm going to be making the meal, I'm going to give you the list of groceries.
And it's not to say that Billy sucks.
No.
That's one thing. That's one thing.
I like Billy.
We got to get straight. I'm okay with Billy Donovan being the coach next season. Part of me, though, does, as much as what has gone on isn't his fault, as we've discussed numerous times, I wouldn't mind seeing a fresh face in there, just because if there is a roster turnaround like we expect there to be, because we don't know whoever comes in, we don't know if they're going to like this current roster and the personnel or not. And if there is a lot of roster turnaround, I feel like that would be very difficult on Billy to have to get to know a bunch of new faces and go from there. I think no matter what, this process is going to be really difficult, and the Bulls are in a really crappy situation. And that sucks. The only thing that we can hope for is draft lottery luck. And that's really frustrating as a fan, because most likely they'll end up with 9. It sucks.
The key for me is making sure that there are no untouchables as this roster is rebuilt.
And you're okay with that, with Gideon Modest not being untouchable?
No, nobody should. They haven't done. No one's earned that status. Nobody's earned that status on this team. And I was discussing this in part with Adam Amin earlier today, and I would really urge you, if you're a Bulls fan, check out the DBU episode that is the latest Dan Bernstein Unfiltered with Adam Amin, because he's spitting some Bulls truth and talking a lot about Donovan and what this does now and what it means for who's going to be coming in, et cetera. So Adam is just, he's just great to hang out with.
The man.
Hung out with him for an hour today, so definitely check that out.
Check out his music too; it's pretty damn good.
We talked about it. We talked.
If you're an EDM house guy, check it out.
The pool of potential general managers now, when that condition is Billy's the coach, is going to really test who wants this job, who thinks they could come in and win a title here with Billy Donovan as the head coach.
Well, the question there is, we were talking 2 days ago about, would you rather have a young and hungry guy or an old and desperate guy at the helm of the front office? Do you think because Michael Reinsdorf is saying, all right, Billy's the head coach, will that attract a younger and hungry and more hungry crowd?
I don't know.
Or older and desperate?
Because I don't know. I don't. It'll attract people who like Billy Donovan and believe in Billy Donovan.
Do you think it's one or the other or not? Which one is more likely in that sense?
By that particular rubric,
yeah,
I don't think there is a likelihood. I think there's going to be old guys who've been out of the game. There's going to be old guys who are looking for a shot. Bob Myers is. I don't think Bob Myers. He's a big shooter. He's not taking any job where he's got to keep any coach.
Yeah, you got to get him out of retirement.
He's still young. This is. I wouldn't consider him old. He's not desperate at all. He doesn't need a job, but. No. If you're
a pretty damn good one with
he did.
They were a decent team.
If you're trying to lure somebody powerful
10 years ago now, oh my goodness.
It was, but if you're trying to lure somebody genuinely powerful, they're going to want the power you just gave Billy. That's I don't understand that. And it's just very, very Chicago. It's very Bulls to say, well, we're making giant changes, but we need the continuity of keeping the coach. You don't have to.
No, you don't. Because if the guy that's in charge of basketball operations is actually in charge of basketball operations, they should run the team how they want to run the team. I have always struggled with owners getting incredibly involved with basketball operations. You own the team. You are not the president of basketball operations.
No, but the president of basketball operations or VP, whatever you call it, your top basketball guy has to be accountable to you in a way that he hadn't been. I'm glad that Michael said that. Okay, I'm glad that he said I need to have a little more involvement in the level of accountability, what things rise to my attention. He's going to be a little more hands-on. That's why I said this is the Billy and Michael show now.
He must love Billy. He must love Billy.
Well, he loved Jim Boylan. Like, this is the problem that I have, is that all it took was Jim Boylan sitting next to him on the airplane. He gave another contract to Jim Boylan.
Are you saying that Reinsdorf is a total yes man to whoever is?
I'm saying he knows he doesn't know basketball, and that's a start. He's not a basketball guy. He's a nice guy.
Sure, he's a nice guy, but if you don't know basketball, why would you have too much of a say on keeping the head coach? Or
that's probably Pax in his ear, right? That my guess is Paxson and or Doug Collins, who are still advising, which is why there's been a name in the back of my head for who would take this job.
Luol?
No, Luol wouldn't be interested in this.
Have you seen the reports? Masai Ujiri. I've seen Masai Ujiri. I've seen Luol Deng, and they would come together if that's possible. I've seen that they're interested.
Masai Ujiri, you're talking now.
That's a name. Yeah.
That
won a title.
That's a name,
and they could develop. That's the thing. Those Raptors teams could develop.
Masai Ujiri, but I was thinking a little smaller fish, but a pretty,
Dunleavy.
no. Look up Matt Lloyd.
Lloyd.
And Matt and I go back a lot of years. I've known him since he was a kid. And Matt Lloyd was John Paxson's protege. Like he worked, he was at Paxson's.
He's currently with the T-Wolves as the GM.
Correct.
So he fleeced the Bulls, and now he's gonna say hi again to Rob Dillingham and Leonard Miller. Say, what the hell did you trade me?
I'm just saying that I don't know if he would want to come back, or I don't know if he'd want to leave that organization in that current position, but he's not the number one guy there. He is the titular GM, but is it Gershon?
Yabusele.
No.
I'm kidding.
But you can look up who the executive VP is or the top guy at the T-Wolves, but it's not Matt Lloyd right now. It's going to be fascinating. Somebody's really going to have to want this, and someone's really going to have to believe in Billy Donovan, and apparently, I guess, believe in Josh Giddey and Modest Buzelis, because maybe you do, maybe you don't, but you can't make keeping those guys around also some kind of condition of what you're doing here. The idea of fresh eyes has got to be fresh eyes.
Yeah,
it's got to be an understanding. Go ahead.
Would I mind if whoever comes in looks at Gideon Mountain and says, I like these guys, I think they can be part of something real? No, I wouldn't mind that at all, because I do think they could be. I do think they could be part of something real, 100%. But at the same time, you need to let these guys who want the job form their own opinion, as we've been saying. I sound like a parrot, but it's the guy that comes in, or woman, as I said on Monday. I want whoever they are to do whatever the hell they want. And if Billy has to stay, okay, fine. Let the guy figure this out with the personnel. Just hand it off to them.
So Billy's going to meet as soon as the season's over, blissfully, the godsend of this season being over. He's going to sit down with Michael. And I was under the impression, and I was told fairly directly, that Billy Donovan didn't want to move upstairs. He's a coachy coach.
Yes, basketball head.
But
basketball,
whether or not he was prepared or not to get the de facto promotion that he received, I don't know. And if I'm representing Billy Donovan, I'll tell you what I'd be doing right now. And we don't know when that contract extension came in. We don't know what he makes.
Give him a raise.
I would be demanding one. I would be right in there and saying, hey, oh, really? So whether you're
doing this, you're just doing this? All right. If you're doing this, give me more money.
Exactly. That's a big part of this talk that we're having.
Yeah,
this is 100%. Not a big exit meeting. If you have said that whoever's going to be hired has got to come here and work with me, I'm empowered now. You've committed to me. You've made this so you can't even enter a hiring process without me. So here's the number. And there's going to be more guaranteed money. There's going to be years tacked on, and you don't have to. You don't have to change my title, but there's going to be an understanding of how this works here.
And especially considering the fact that there were rumors that he was going to leave. So even though the UNC job's taken, whatever, there were still rumors that he might step away from the Bulls. So if that's a given that he was considering leaving, he's got to set a baseline amount for how much he wants. Like, okay, you want me to stay? Double my shit. So, I mean, I'm saying theoretically,
well, whatever. I don't know that I would go in and if you remind me to not have you.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I would say remind me to have someone other than you represent me, because I prefer it be done a little bit more diplomatically than that.
No, but it's threatening. Are you threatening me?
Are you threatening me? That's what you end up doing.
Michael, I hope Michael has that reaction when Billy says, "All right, double my shit."
Are you threatening me? He pulls his shirt up over his head. That would make me a fan forever. That would then automatically, or he could just say,
speaking of,
"You're fired."
This is so unrelated, but that video of the Cubs fan, or maybe it was the Rays fan in the stands.
Yes.
Speaking of bungholes, might be the funniest thing I've ever seen. His junk had to be out on the other side.
This was a big topic on Off the Ivy, a Chicago Cubs podcast this morning. Near the very end of Off the Ivy, it was a big topic, and Jim Deshaies slayed me. Yeah. Jim Deshaies, because there's no one says anything. He and Boog lay out, and you see that guy just ass cracked for days, and neither one says anything. I guarantee you,
full moon right there.
Boog turned off his mic. The guy's there with his pants down, and all you hear is there's a perfectly timed pause, and JD goes, "Everyone all right down there?" like he's at a youth game yelling down from the bleachers. It just, "Everyone all right?"
Y'all good?
Yeah, exactly.
It reminded me of Chris Jones at the combine when he was running the 40-yard dash and his cock fell out of his pants, or his shorts.
Yeah, it just came right and ripped out.
I think he had turf burn on his scrot.
But it was so funny. It was so great. I showed it to your sister. I was driving her to work today.
Oh,
Dad. But even she admitted it was hilarious. Okay. She's like, "I have to start my day seeing that." I'm like, "Apparently you do." Dad. There, that's my Zoe impersonation. Is that good? Dad.
For those who don't know her, that's all I need to know.
That's it. That's
the
best I can do. I want to see this first real interview list, and I hope it's a long one for Michael Reinsdorf. I hope that, and you know what executives say in these situations all the time. "Oh, everybody's calling. My phone's blowing up. All these people want this job." Okay, well, I want to know who you actually talk to, and I want to know if it's going to change. Let's say that Bob Myers or a current executive who just wants to move his family to Chicago comes to you and says,
possible.
Let's put everything on the table and say theoretically, let's play this game. If Sam Presti,
I don't care who it is. Yes.
Sam Presti calls Michael Reinsdorf and say, "Hey man, I've always wanted the Bulls job. I've always wanted to restore that franchise to glory. I'm looking for a new challenge. I'm bored here. I've proven everything I can prove here. I hate living in Oklahoma City. Get me out of here. But I'm not working with Donovan."
I'm doing it right away.
Hell yeah, you are, because you're not an idiot. Better. Of course you're doing that.
Do you think Michael would?
It doesn't sound like it.
Ridiculous.
It doesn't sound like it.
Ridiculous.
But that's the kind of scenario that I'm trying to envision here. Is you get somebody like I hadn't heard that Ujiri was a legitimate potential prospect.
That's a guy you want to look at.
Yeah, it is
100%.
Yeah, and if I don't know, or maybe he'd say, "Look,
might be a pipe dream."
But
he wants to work. If he does it, I think Luol Deng might be part of it as well.
Let me give you another possibility.
That's what I'm seeing. I don't know how legit it is.
Oh, well, who said it, right? Is this one of your schmucky TikTok people?
No.
Okay. It isn't some rando. You vetted this. This is a, because anybody can just put stuff anywhere, and then you can say, "Well, I saw this somewhere." But if they have an opportunity to at least get some free looks, what would you use this time for? I've said this when the Bears have had their searches. This is your free shot to gain more NBA knowledge. And I know you're looking something up right now. I can tell. Yeah. But this is your free shot for an organization. For Michael, what he should want to do right now is look at the process of interviewing as a way to learn. Even if you're not intending to hire people from some of these organizations, bring them in and have them tell you what they think. and interview them earnestly. And maybe somebody blows you away who wasn't on your short list before. Keep an open mind, but you've got to ask tough questions that force these people to tell you what they really think of the business that you're doing, how you're doing
even
it.
if they rip your ass a new hole, that's okay.
Yes.
You
yes.
want that.
Yes. And you don't have to necessarily.
And he might need it too.
You don't have to
need someone to come in and say, hey, what you're doing right now sucks. And the fact that you want to keep Billy around, even though Billy's not a bad coach, saying that to start without even letting the guy that's going to be running your team have a look at what's going on here and have a look at Billy as a head coach, that's stupid. Whoever he is in this situation does that, and Michael Reinsdorf is taken aback, I don't want him to be, oh, he was mean to me, I don't want this guy.
He wouldn't.
You don't think so?
No,
I don't know him like you do. So
I don't think so. I think he understands that these are serious people, ideally, that you're bringing in here who don't want to have their hands tied when taking the job. And it's like, well, I'm not going to return the phone call unless you agree to keep Billy Donovan. For how long? For how long? Maybe there's a minimum time. I'll keep him for the first. I'll promise you he'll be around for the first 2 years. Maybe there's some leeway in here, or Michael Reinsdorf can do what any owner can do. He can say some very powerful words. He can say, "I change my mind." That's what he can say if he wants. And if in fact Sam Presti's like, hey, I've got my family in Chicago. I've always wanted to move back there. I'm tired of living down here. I'm really interested. Whatever you want to pay me is fine. Don't worry about it. Let me bring a couple people with me. And Michael, and he can hire him. They can get rid of Billy, and he can say, I changed my mind. That's what he could say if he wanted. So it did surprise me that there would have been a way to hedge his bet a little bit, to say, as it stands right now, it doesn't even have to say that. You could just say, we love the work that Billy Donovan is doing. He's under contract, and I really like the job that he does. I would look forward to working with him in the future in his current role, or something else, however he wants to phrase it, without committing, without going as far as he did to say that whoever it's going to be is going to
has no choice.
Right. Must commit to working with Donovan as his coach.
Yeah.
But he did. He went that far. And that promoted Billy. That made Billy the most powerful Chicago Bulls basketball person ever since those words came out of his mouth.
Man, to think that it all started, as you said a couple of days ago, when they finally, 3 years too late, tried to do something right.
It did.
There was more Jaden Ivey stuff that came out. I don't know if you saw it, where he was on Instagram Live again, and he was with his wife, and it looked like, and Jeff Teague's podcast reacted to it.
No.
Oh God, so good.
They don't care, man.
Oh, it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah,
and they were making fun of him because she was putting stuff in a suitcase. It looked like they were in some kind of a hotel, and he goes, here's my wife, and she just goes, Jaden, stop, what are you doing? And he goes, she loves me, she loves Jesus. And one of the guys on the pod just said, I don't know if that's true, bro, she backing her shit up right now. As she was putting stuff in the suitcase. It's just the amount that they laugh as they talk.
Yeah, they crack themselves up.
It's so
fun.
good.
I know.
And one of the guys always just goes, what you say, cuz? And then everybody just loses it because they have to repeat what they said. And oh my goodness. God, what are they doing? What is he?
What is Jaden Ivey?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's okay. But Julia Poe called it, by the way.
Yeah.
If you were watching OWC, our guest, the Tribune's Julia Poe, when she sort of dropped breadcrumbs for us that this might have happened in the way that it did. It to me, it seemed like she was making a case, but you had to listen very carefully to her point about Michael Reinsdorf feeling empowered from the ownership level in a way that he hadn't before, and that foreshadowed potentially other executive decisions coming from him, and she knew something. She knew something. She led us right to it. There's no way that was coincidental.
We should have known that it was coming soon.
It was not coincidental, and that's why I think she was also a great guest, telling us a lot of that information.
Awesome. Would love to have her on again at some point.
Oh, we will. I told her that. I told her how great it was. But the next step is get the smartest people in to interview for this job. Ask them questions that help you at the very least learn more about your organization and learn more about what you have done wrong. And this is critical, what other teams are doing.
That makes them better.
Right. If you're interviewing people that work for Brad Stevens, if you're
Sam Presti,
or any pick. That's why Matt Lloyd from the T-Wolves bring in people who are ahead of the curve and not behind it, are recognizing what's coming instead of waiting a year or 2 years too late to get with the times, and then it's changed already. It's
because that's how basketball is now.
That's how business is. That's anything.
Yeah.
That's why you hire people to run your business, to see what's next, to say, we got to be prepared for this, or we're going to go in a direction here that others aren't, because there's a market inefficiency here that we can take advantage of. And the tanking rules are going to change. Everything. All those rules, the benefits and rewards of losing, all that stuff is going to change. So whoever can see it, it might be this year. So whoever you think can see that and get out ahead of it and say, here's where our assets have to be positioned. Here's where we're behind. Here's where we need more. Somebody can sit and look at this and go, dude, you don't have enough scouts. You don't have enough. You need more scouts. You need more analytics. It can't just be 3 people in a room with 3 computers. You need all kinds of bandwidth. You need international people. You got to start hiring people in other countries to do all this, and not just the vestiges of what Jerry Krause put together. But you need this. The scouting infrastructure has got to be improved, and there's going to be expenditures here that he's not going to want to hear about. But this is what happens with Reinsdorf teams. Reinsdorf teams have even when they've succeeded, they then calcify. They fall in the winner's trap. They don't spend money. They're not forward thinking.
What winner's trap are they in? You seriously think that one half season when they signed DeRozan and Levine and Ball, well, they didn't sign Levine, but when all those guys
the
winner's trap. You think that was a winner's trap?
No,
or you're just saying like the 90s?
I'm saying the 90s into Garpax, into 17 years of Garpax, because Pax was on that team, and I don't have an issue with John Paxson still being involved as an advisor, but I don't want a Bob Pulford situation where essentially he's going to come back. I don't think he wants to work that hard. Catch up with what's going on around the league. Figure that stuff out. Now, tell us about your experience last night at the Smoothie King Center watching.
Yeah, we had enough of this.
Yeah, what? So you watched what?
Utah
Jazz Pelicans.
And Pelicans. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
How much was the ticket?
How
much was the ticket?
$12.
A $12 ticket. Where did you sit?
Club level. Photoshopped it.
For $12.
Yeah, you just Photoshop it. They don't give it. They don't care. So, when you enter the arena, they scan the actual ticket. But before the game, what I do is I take a screenshot and I edit the section on the ticket on Google Slides. Actually, I don't want to spoil all my secrets. It probably only works at really bad small market arenas.
Yeah, you're gonna get kicked out somewhere if you keep
I'm not doing that at the United Center. Hell no.
No.
But the people that look at it, all they look at is the section. You just walk right in. And you get private bathrooms, all that stuff, all that jazz. You don't like jazz? I
didn't like the Jazz last night.
I did. It was fun.
That's starting lineup.
I'm pretty sure like John Conchar had a triple-double in a loss.
No, he didn't.
I'm 90% sure he had like 12, 10, and 10.
John Conchar. That's going to be the worst triple-double in the league this year. For sure. That is going to be the worst triple-double in the NBA.
So the Pelicans put up a franchise high 156 points. Conchar had a triple-double. Yeah.
156 points. But that is, I was thinking last night, like
Bez
that.
Bang played the entire game. He played all
Who?
48 minutes. He had 26, shot 60% from the field.
Des Bang?
Bez Bang, he
Oh,
played at
Bez.
Yale. Bez, B-E-Z.
Okay.
All right, Jordan Hawkins for the Pelicans had 25 off the bench. Jeremiah Fears had 40 on 17 of 29 shooting. Micah Peavy, second-round rookie, had 20 on 9 of 13. And Jordan Poole had 34 and went 7 of 16 from 3. And they scored 156 points.
Okay. All right.
It was a whole lot of fun, man.
That's
It
your
was a lot
happy
of fun.
place. That like
And my God, Oscar Sheboy's so terrible.
Really?
Oh, he just. If you think Derek Queen is clunky and awkward, there's a reason why he was a first-round pick. As much as I'm not the biggest fan of his, Queen had a good game too. He was solid, but I still don't. And whenever Queen scored or did something positive, my friend was always just like, "That's your guy right there. Look at baby Jokic," and it would piss me off every single time because I can't. I'm not a big fan of his.
But your other guy, Rob Dillingham, had himself a game.
Yeah.
What did Dilly have? 26?
26. And I will say Kennedy Chandler, former University of Tennessee point guard, his game reminded me a lot of Dillingham, but significantly better, honestly.
Really?
He had 31 points off the bench, with 8 assists and 7 rebounds. Very similar. He played with a little bit more pace, same height, like same size, although he's a little bit stronger. And it kind of, when I saw Chandler, it kind of worried me about Dillingham, just to tie it back to the Bulls, because that's a guy that was a second-round pick, not 8th overall, and was kind of was a fringe NBA guy for a while. I don't know if he's going to stick around in the NBA for a while, but I know they were playing a piss-poor Pelicans team, but it concerned me that Chandler looked significantly more NBA ready than Dillingham right now. Because Dillingham's excuse has been, oh, he hasn't gotten playing time. Kennedy Chandler has not been in the NBA for that long, nor because he's been floating around the G League and everything. So I don't know, man.
Who do you think led the Bulls last night in plus minus?
With Patrick Williams?
25. Yes.
Yeah, he had 27 and 6, right? Something like that.
He had 20 and 7 and 6 and 3 steals and a block.
Yeah, well, he's better than the worst guys on the Wizards. Come on. I know we hate on him, but he's better than Anthony Gill.
And he was very funny after the game, too, when he was talking to KC Johnson. And I was happy for him and happy that he could be happy. But, I went back when I was looking.
He gets so much hate, and he's a nice guy.
When I was looking over and having to put together a list of some of the worst transactions or decisions or actions of Karnisovas. Obviously, drafting of Patrick Williams is in that top 5 to take him 4th. And then I looked at Dalen Terry, and he was taken 18th, right?
Yeah.
That draft is terrible.
That was the Cade draft, right?
Yeah, but the people usually you can find a couple guys after
in the mid-20s.
Yeah, but you can find they could have had this guy, they could have had this guy, but instead they took Dalen Terry. I was looking over the 2022 draft, and these are some of the people who are taken.
That's Paolo. Okay.
Taken after Dalen Terry at 18. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple on here, but Jake LaRavia, Malachi Branham, Christian Braun.
He's good.
Walker Kessler.
He's good.
David Roddy, Marjon Beauchamp.
Oh, yeah, he's been terrible.
Blake Wesley, Wendell Moore, Nikola Jovic, Patrick Baldwin, Ty Washington, Peyton Watson.
Yeah. Peyton Watson's a beast. I think he might be a free agent this summer. That I really like Peyton Watson.
I haven't seen much of him.
What? On Denver?
I mean, I haven't watched a ton of Denver.
He's one of the best defenders in all of basketball.
Okay, here's some other names. Andrew Nembhard, we know is pretty good.
He's going to command some money.
Caleb Houston.
Nembhard's good.
Christian Koloko. Jaylin Williams. Jaylin Williams. Solid. Your guy, Max Christie.
By the way, Peyton
Huh.
Watson this season, 14.6 points and
Really?
just under 30 minutes per game, 49% from the field and over 41% from three.
Jesus.
With
Well, that's
one block, with averaging a block and a steal per game.
That's 3-and-D.
Yep. Like
right.
how tall is he? He's 6'8", 200. Like, and I'm pretty, unless I don't know exactly what his contract situation is, he's going to be commanding over $20 million. That's a guy you want on your roster.
All right.
Winning player.
So I learned. Let's do the showdown.
All right, let's go.
Okay, kiddo, here you go. Cooper Flagg is planting his flag as the rookie of the year in that race. I believe he has taken the lead in many of the odds where you find them. He followed,
right?
He's okay. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
He followed his teenage record 51-point performance.
What was it, 45
last Friday with 45 on Sunday, becoming the youngest player in NBA history at 19 years, 105 days to record 45 or more points in back-to-back games. He became the third rookie in league history to score at least 45 points in consecutive games. And I don't know if you can name those players who were ahead of him as numbers 1 and 2.
Is that the question?
Well, that's part of it. That's
Okay.
just sort of the first part.
I'm just going to guess LeBron.
No.
Carmelo.
No.
Durant.
No.
Are they? Is it going to be like some crazy thing like Tyreek Evans?
No, it's
like
old
players.
Old.
Oh, old. Elgin Baylor.
No.
Wilt.
Yes. Wilt is one. Walt Bellamy is the other. His 96 points over a 2-game span are tied for the 5th most by a rookie in league history, only behind Chamberlain. But he's behind Chamberlain who did it 4 other times.
I gathered that.
Yeah, he had 111, 101, 99, 99. There's Cooper Flagg at 96.
Wilt's a pretty good player, huh?
Then Wilt again at 96. Wilt also had 94, and he had 92 3 times.
Wait, so that's in his rookie year?
Is
that right?
That is the, yeah.
He did that multiple times. That many times.
Yes, it was all in the 1959-1960 season.
That ain't bad.
Now, I'm going to ask you, who else had at least 92 points as a rookie in consecutive games? There are 2 other names on here. One guy did it twice. One guy did it twice in 1968. The other had 94 points in consecutive games as a rookie in 1997.
Iverson?
Yes.
Bang.
Iverson did it in 1997. He had 94. This other guy had...
Kobe didn't really blow up because that was Kobe, Ray Allen, Steve Nash, I believe, was in that draft. Was Dirk in that draft as well?
That'd be a hell of a draft, man.
The 96 draft, is that right?
No, it'd be 90. Yeah, it would be the 96 draft.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what I think. And you said 68?
Yes, this guy did it in 68. Twice.
Was it the fall of the winter of 68 or the spring?
He did it. Oh, wow. The same week. He did it November 12th and November 13th. And then it counts November 13th and November 15th.
I think I got this. Is it Wes Unseld?
Ooh, no.
Damn it.
I think you just guessed the wrong guy.
No, because I'm pretty sure didn't Unseld win the MVP in like 69 or something as a rookie, or was that the year before? Did he win in 68?
It was somebody who became very famous as a longtime teammate of his who did it.
Oh. Okay.
And they're often mentioned together.
Oof.
And they were,
I don't really know many guys on the Bullets. Like Elvin Hayes or something.
Yep. Yeah. It was Elvin Hayes.
Got it. All right.
Elvin Hayes had 94, and
I knew it had to be a big man. Okay.
Yep. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay.
I just thought because Unseld won Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season, I think that might have been the year before, might have been 1968, because it was probably like Havlicek that won it that next year. Havlicek because Willis Reed was not that year. That was like 72 or 71.
Man, this Unseld fro on his Wikipedia picture
man.
is just awesome. Yeah, he was the second overall pick in 1968, and he was
MVP so he was MVP in 69.
No,
Unseld?
yes, 69.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that's why I asked whether it was in the fall or the spring of 68. Okay. So I thought I had that for sure. They were both rookies at the same time.
Wait, who was picked ahead of him? Elvin Hayes.
Wow. They had 1 and 2.
Yes. No, Elvin Hayes was a San Diego Rocket.
Oh, I see what you're saying. He came later. Okay.
He joined the Bullets later.
But
they were 1-2 in that draft.
Okay.
Wow, Tom Borwinkle was taken by the Bulls in that draft. He was taken 4th overall. Tom Borwinkle.
All right. You ready?
There's a lot of bad in this draft too.
You ready?
Yes, I'm going to try to be ready. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going something that is more current, and it's pretty simple. So I looked at the just NBA.com, and I looked at the top 25 players in total points this season. Okay, top 25 in total points. 6 of them are non-all-stars, and I want to see how many you can get.
Oh my God. Never made an all-star team?
No.
Or didn't make a team this year?
Correct.
Oh, I don't.
Because I believe there are 6 of them. 3 of them have never made an all-star team.
I've never made an all-star team. Did Knipple make it?
Knipple is at 24. Yeah.
Okay.
Knipple is top 25 in the NBA in total points this season. How about that?
Okay, well, let the record show I got that one.
I won.
This is a tough question, man.
I think it's a good one, though.
It is in total points.
So you got to think of guys that
I'm trying to think of guys who are like on bad teams or who are...
Nobody here. 2 of these guys are teammates.
Okay, is Austin Reeves?
No, because he's been hurt.
But I don't think he's been an all-star, has he?
I don't think so, no. But he's been hurt. That's the thing.
How about Keontae George?
No, good guess though. Good guess. You mentioned one of these guys on Monday.
Oh, I don't remember what I said this morning. I don't remember what I said when our podcast started. Oh my God, is this difficult?
2 of these guys are teammates. One of them has made a bunch of all-star teams in the past, former MVP. And one of these guys you wouldn't...
Giannis?
Nope. Hasn't played enough.
But he gets... well, you're right. These are counting stats. So you're saying...
Old. He's old.
Right. Total points.
Yeah.
What about Harden?
James Harden is 15th in the NBA in total points, and he did not make the All-Star.
Yeah.
Year. So you got 2 of them.
Because he could score in his sleep.
Yep.
I got 2 of them. Harden was a good guess, I thought.
Yeah, you got it.
What about Lauri Markkanen?
Nope. Hasn't played enough.
They're teammates. Is it somebody else on Charlotte?
Nope. You haven't gotten either of the teammates yet.
Did Jaylen Brown make the All-Star team?
Jaylen Brown is one of the best players in the league right now.
I know. I was watching him last night. Boy, that was after watching.
He's like 4th in the, maybe even 3rd in total points right now.
Okay, well,
because of the restrictions with injury, he'll get MVP votes this season.
I was just trying to think who's scoring all these points. So it's not Shea because he was an all-star. Is that the right team?
No.
Oh, is it? It's got to be one of the Spurs.
Nope.
Like Castle, no.
Nope.
All right, I give up.
Okay. Number 12 is Julius Randle in Minnesota.
Okay.
All right. And the guys that are at 14 and 20 are Desmond Bain and Paolo Banchero.
I was gonna guess Desmond Bain.
Well, you didn't. So
I was gonna guess Bain.
Desmond Bain
And then I
Paolo
thought
Banchero.
Wow.
And then at 17 is Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yep.
How about
he's,
that?
He's the answer to a lot of questions this year.
Yeah.
Is he the mop?
It's up there.
Who's the mop right now?
I think Modest will get some votes, honestly.
Okay, but he's not it. I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker might be your mop.
Brandon Miller.
Yeah, he's good.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a fun game last night. And then of course Lonzo Ball rolls his ankle. Or LaMelo Ball rolls his ankle.
And he's been great recently too.
Mm-hmm.
When he doesn't have to be the star and he can kind of play a little bit carefree like he does and just be the point guard, I don't think that's bad for that team.
No, as long as he's smart. If he wants to be a serious player and not, but like every fourth trip, he shoots a 30-footer, and it's just there's no reason for it. It's like he's going to do that because the clock in his head goes off. I don't know. All right, well that was good. It was a solid showdown and a very solid episode of Organizations Win Championships. Been brought to you by your friends at MyBookie. Whenever the stakes are high, MyBookie is where you turn bets into bankroll. Find that big matchup on the schedule. Everybody's watching. And then you find the props because they are just as fun as the final score. MyBookie's prop board has got everything you need. If you want individual points, rebounds, assists, some of that stuff, it's a blast to play with these player performances or game milestones. What team is going to score what number when. This is the kind of action that makes sure the entire game is interesting no matter what's going on. One account, one wallet, get in to mybookie.ag. Everything's there. With the code OWC, your first bet is covered up to $500. And then if it doesn't hit, you've got your bet back bonus token. You can run it back. Again, the code OWC at mybookie.ag. Don't just watch the action, make it pay with MyBookie. For our producer, Cody Del Mendo, and that guy with his beard he still has.
I'm thinking of getting rid of it soon.
Do that.
Yeah. I think
you tried it out. It's a pain in the ass, isn't it?
It's gotten less annoying, I think. But that's not why I called. Thanks for listening.
But do the ladies like
Championships. Like the episode, download it on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast. Download the 312 Sports app. You get all the other podcasts. Well,
and the merch store is open. The merch
shut
store
up and
is
listen
open.
to me.
Shut up and listen. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hook me up then. I have a T-shirt and a quarter zip right now. Hook me up even more. Hook me up. I'm an entitled bastard. I'm an entitled bastard.
Entitled bastard.
Give us a like. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Download it wherever you get your podcasts. Download the 312 Sports app and tolerate Dangleberry McFingle. And we will see you next week unless something big happens. I doubt it at this point, but we will see you next week. That's Organizations Win Championships. Thanks for listening.
Organizations Win Championships, a Chicago Bulls podcast with Jason and Dan Bernstein on 312 Sports.